Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to sort of finish up and round off our tier lists that we've been doing for Counter-Strike 2. Last week we did the Famous, so this week we're going to do the Galil, and that's kind of going to finish things up, at least for like the foreseeable future. And the good news is, for the month of February, we're going to have the giveaways continue on every single video. I took suggestions from you guys in Discord, so the first giveaway is for the Up Duality. It is in minimal wear. It's quite a high minimal wear field, but still, this in minimal wear looks fantastic. So it's the usual entry requirements. So you have to make sure you hit the like button, you have to be subscribed to the channel, and then you need to leave a comment down below of your favorite Galil skin, and then in a few days' time, I'll pick the winner and I'll announce it in Discord. So please make sure you're in the Discord as well. Good luck to those of you who enter, and let's get into it. Now, if you'd like to see these lovely giveaways continue, then please check out today's sponsor, Skinport. Skinport is the best marketplace to buy and sell your Counter-Strike skins. Whether you're looking for some budget gems or skins that you can flex to your mates, with over 1 million skins available on Skinport, they have everything you need and more. For example, this factory new StatTrack Empress is available on Skinport for 26% cheaper than you'd find on the Steam market.
I'll make that deal. On
Skinport, you'll find 0 buyer fees. For those selling skins, the fees start from 2%. Payouts are going to be sent in your local currency, and Skinport has a 4.9 out of 5 rating on Trustpilot from over 23,000 reviews, making it a trusted marketplace for you. For more details, check the link in the video description or pinned comment, and thank you to Skinport for sponsoring today's video. Alright, so you're going to lose my face for a little minute, and so you can see the full board. So I'm going back to the normal format of perfect, great, good, okay, meh, and better use default. Or sorry, not better, I'd rather use default. Yeah, rather use default. There we go. Now, the first one here is the Amber Fade. This is a skin that I think is good. It's not as good as some of the other fades or like the Doppler finishes we get, but I do like that you get a different fade percentage and it's a little bit more unique. So I'm going to put it into good, and I'm also going to put the Aqua Terrace into good, however, with a bit of an asterisk because the price is a little crazy for it. Like, in regards to, like, value per money, the Aqua Terrace isn't all that because it's quite expensive, but you can't deny that that, like, light blue and the white really pops and works together, and then the black has a nice contrast. Now, our first okay skin is going to be the Blue Titanium. I must say, this one is better in Counter-Strike 2, but it still doesn't do too much for me, and I suppose you could argue it's kind of similar to the Amber Fade, but at least with the Amber Fade, you get different fade percentages and stuff like that. Now, we have our first perfect skin with the Cerberus. This is a skin that I have always really liked. I think that you can argue the color palette's a little bit weird, but when it is going to be this radiation, it makes sense to be this sort of mix of this greeny yellow, and then the actual, like, the three-headed Cerberus design on it is so damn nice. So yeah, the base color is a little bit different. It's this mix of what would be like a yellowy green, but overall it fits so well. The artwork's fantastic. This is a perfect skin. And I think the Chatterbox is one that some people would also pin in perfect, but I'm going to put it in great. It's definitely a super cool skin. It has this thing here whenever you shoot, obviously the mouth opens up and down. I don't know what it is though, just maybe because it's a little too worn. Like every condition, it's going to be worn. And that is the style of the skin. I get that. I appreciate that. But it's not my cup of tea. So for some people, definitely this can be perfect. But for me, it's going to be great. Now, we honestly got a nice batch of skins come up here. But first, we're going to have the Black Sand, which for me is going to go into okay. This is a fantastic budget Galil. But outside of that, there's not too much else to it. Now, these are 3 big ones here. So the Rocket Pop is actually going into perfect. There's just something about this skin that I really like. It's very bright, vibrant. It stands out a lot. You got this 2 different tones of blue, the white and the red. I just think this looks super good. Now, when we get Source 2 skins, this will probably end up going down a little bit because the Source 2 skins will look crazy in comparison. But overall, for a vibrant, clean Galil skin, this is great. Now, when it comes to Galils, I have a bit of pink in them. The first one is going to be the Sugar Rush. This is a bit more of an expensive skin, but I think the blue and the pink does look really good together. And then your other option, which is kind of the pinky purple, is going to be the Chromatic Aberration. Now, if I had to put them into categories, the Chromatic Aberration for me is going to be into great. Again, kind of like the Chatterbox. I absolutely love the skin. I have used both for like long periods of time. But there's just something about them doesn't crack into perfect. However, the Sugar Rush for me, it does crack into perfect. And I'll try and put these in order this time in each category. So this is the current order correctly in each category. Now, if you didn't like the Black Sand, maybe you'll like the Destroyer, because this is another okay skin that is a fairly low budget. And honestly, outside of it being okay, there's not too much else to say. But then we do move on to the Eco, which for me, I'm pretty sure, what was I thinking for this? I put it in great in the end. And I'd say it's probably better than the Chatterbox. And then the Sandstorm is going to go into good with a bit of reasoning.
So firstly, for the eco, one thing, this is a perfect like 0.00 float. You won't actually buy them like this, but even when you get them in like minware and field test it, if you want like a green skin, this is great. If you're building a white loadout and you don't mind accents, also kind of great. I think I would actually like to see more skins like this. And then I put the Sandstorm in good because it is pattern-based, which means you can get ones that have a considerable amount of purple on them. There is normally a little bit of overpay, but it's going to be on the back end of good. Well, it will be on the back end of good, but it's also probably ahead of these two. Then we've got the Firefight, and this is a very clean skin, but for me, I think it's just going to work its way into the top of okay. And believe it or not, the Stone Cold is a perfect skin. Now, I do have justification for this. The Stone Cold, if you want a blue Galil skin, ticks the boxes perfectly. Obviously, there is this contrast of black through it, a little bit of grey, but overall, it's a blue skin that has a bit of shine to it. I would really like to see, and I know it might oversaturate the market a little bit, but skins like this, if they could come in the primary colours of like red, green, blue, maybe like yellow and pink or yellow and purple, something like that, I think, and then we have these lovely budget options if it's so well in the themes, I think would be cool to see. Now, the connection for me is going to be another okay skin. Kind of similar to the Firefight we just looked at in regards to color palette. I think the Phoenix connection kind of thing is it's cool and everything, and it plays into a bit of the lore around Counter-Strike, but as a play skin, it doesn't do much for me. One that I am a fan of for like lower budgets for green is the Vandal. I think this is a good skin. This one might go a little bit against the green, but I do think, honestly, this is a good skin. I think it plays in a little bit more to, I know, I'm going to say like an older school American style design with like the shitty flames on it, but then it's just got some little cool features and markings around it. Now, we're going to build out the OK pretty strong here, because I'm going to put the Shattered in here as well. So this is one I've started to mention more in recent videos. I do like the geometric patterns on it. It isn't as flashy as some of the newer skins and what we're going to see with Source 2. So I think for that reason, OK is probably a nice area for it to be in. The geometric spits do actually match with the gloves as well. Orange DD-Pat is definitely a good skin. Only issue is going to be price again. It's not quite as bad as this Aqua Terrace. Because of the case it's from, how old it is, you end up paying a bit more than you would for like a DD-Pat skin, but overall, like for an orange loadout, this is actually one of the best options. Now, I know Anomaly loves the Winter Forest. For me, I'm torn between if it's going to go into good or okay. And as I'm looking at it, I think it's going to age into good, because I think it's definitely better than the Shattered, and Shattered is right on the top of okay. So it's definitely personal preference, and I know some people don't like camo skins because they're just like the basic skins you'd find early on in Call of Duty or something, but there's definitely like a certain sort of loadout building potential for them. Now, as it stands, we don't have anything in Met or anything in the rather used default, but that changes now because the Cami is making its way into Met. I like the idea that was here for putting like the comic book style into the skin, but it's incredibly mid. Going back to more positive notes, we have two good skins here. First one is going to be the Signal, which I think is a very strong good skin, and then we're also going to have the Dusk Ruins. The Signal gets you quite a nice blend between this blue and red for a relatively low price, so it's kind of loved for that. And then Dusk Ruins is a very personal preference one. I personally really like this style. I like a lot of the skins from like the Ancient Collection. I would say I prefer this in Souvenir with gold stickers on it. Now, we're almost into like the final row. We're going to have a Cold Fusion first. And for me, this one's sort of borderlines okay and good, but it's going to be the very top of okay. Like, don't get me wrong, there is stuff to like in this skin, but for me, these ones with the skulls in it, with the radiation symbols in the head, they've never done too much for me. Now, the Cami gets a parry now in the mess category with the Vari Camo. This is one, you've seen it on other weapons that we've discussed. It's just, I'm down for camo skins and stuff, like I showed with the Winter Forest, but this one just isn't really it. And then, back-to-back mess skins, we're going to have the Urban Rubble go in here as well. Again, I think this one's just a bit too dull. I mean, it is another sort of camo pattern, and I know I've kind of said that we kind of appreciate some, but it's just not a good camo pattern. In more positive notes, though, the Tuxedo is a great skin. For me, honestly, the white on black works so well. Obviously, that's Tuxedo. So overall, basic design in a skin, but I think it is executed really well. And you do actually have good sticker craft potential with a skin like this. Now, we have 7 more. None in Rally Use default now, but that's about to change for 4 of these skins. I'm going to put them all in at once. Tornado, the Akubin, this Hunting Blind, and then this Sage Spray. We'll look at them all now in-game. I know someone did say when I said that I didn't like the Tornado in another video that it's like this sort of like weird off-palette color that actually looks better in Counter-Strike 2. And it looks better, but it still looks not that good for me. The Sage Spray, my issue here is, I mean, it's incredibly low resolution basically. Like, I know it's a spray, but it looks low res. Hunting Blind uses that same stupid texture that the safety net has, so immediately I wouldn't have liked it that much. And then the colors are dreadful. And then the Yakubin, I don't really know what to say about this, man. It just, the colors look weird. It looks like there's texture on it, looks weird. The pattern's weird. This just is an eyesore, personally. But that leaves us with 3 skins that are at least all good. The first of which is going to be the Caution. Now, obviously we have Caution gloves already. This is a skin that becomes very hard to pair into loadouts if you are doing a theme. I would say you kind of have to commit yellow or black or yellow and black for it. But it's definitely a very cool skin, but it only gets into good. I cannot put it any higher. Another good skin, though, is the Crimson Tsunami. This is one I honestly think is a little bit slapped on. So when people were saying that the Tornado is good because of like the sort of off-palette colors, this is what I'd immediately showcase you to. It's not bright and flashy. It's a sort of subdued color palette, but the artwork's great and the colors actually pair well together. This is a good example of like these non-flashy skins that still have detail. And then finally, the Phoenix Blacklight, which I'm actually going to put in perfect, but behind the Cerberus. I like purple skins a lot. This is a bit of purple, pink, blue. It's pattern based. It is more expensive, but in regards to like, again, color palette, this design, the mix of colors, everything about it, I think for me, it's just absolutely fantastic. I think it's a good example of a strong Counter-Strike skin. And that completes our tier list of all 33 Galil skins. So you can see on the perfect tier, there's maybe an argument that Rocket Pop goes into great, and I can respect that argument, but for me, there's something about it since the very first time I played CS back in like 2016. It's got a spot for me there. So that's the perfect row in order. Then we have the great in order with the Eco, the Chatterbox, the Chromatic Aberration, and the Tuxedo. The good news is there's a lot of good like Galils in Counter-Strike, and even the OK section I know some of these people actually really like. So overall, we're in a really good place for Galil skins, I think, across the board. But it would be nice to see a little top up when we get skins again in the near future. And then that's it for today, guys. I say there are some really nice Galil skins. I want to know your favorites down in the comments. And by doing that, you actually complete one step to enter the giveaway. So just a reminder to enter this giveaway for this minimum wear Opduality. You have to make sure you hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and make sure you're subscribed. The winner will be announced in Discord in a few days' time. So please make sure you're in the Discord so you don't miss out and like basically can't claim your prize and then someone else wins it in a week's time. It's not really ideal for anyone, is it? But I'll end it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've been enjoying the content lately. We're about to go into a big grind of content coming out across TikTok, YouTube Shorts, streams, everything. So I'm really excited for it. I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.